Alright, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of Chechnya, where we are prepping for a growth phase again, expanding out into the Indian Ocean. I'd rather have gone into the Atlantic, but our only option is the Northwest Atlantic. And we're really outside of any supply radius that we might potentially have or want to have at that point. Whereas we can actually kind of maneuver our way to the south right now. So that's where we're at. As far as plans, we're looking, we've got naval control all the way to the Maldives, or yeah, I think this is the Maldives. And we're pushing a war deck on the Maldives to annex that territory. We're looking at Sri Lanka to secure rubber for our vehicles and planes. And then we'll go from there. As far as if we go into South Africa for maybe steel, like Somalia. I'm thinking Somalia actually would be a great addition. But we can do all that from the Maldives. That's perfectly in fighter range. We will be very close to the United States, but I'm thinking our plan of action: take the Maldives, invade Sri Lanka, go for Somalia. Maybe take Aceh, or however you say this, and for the tech metals. And that's what our rear expansion needs to be, just to secure our supply lines. Then we can push into Kazakhstan and then the Siberian region of Russia and the Urals for more resources once we've solidified kind of a productive base. So this is why empires grew, for resources, and then home expansion from there. That seems to be the plan. That's what I'm going with. As long as I don't misclick anything, it should function that way. Like a bunch of our rail lines that we were missing are getting finished. So that's good. We've got... Okay, that is size 6. I was wondering if we were missing, because of this, the full supply line up north. Looks like we've got it. So this is actually... This choked out somewhere. From level 3, so maybe this is choked out. This isn't even built yet. So they're getting, it's getting 3 single supply here, so this is having to supply south probably too. This is getting supplies from the coast. This is vulnerable. We need a line here. And across this would be best. Yeah, so something here. Maybe down south, or do I want to push north? I think I'm going to go south. We want to upgrade all the way south. And then we can make a secondary supply line. Probably back here. This is hard to defend. I think this river is impassable at places. Yeah, like that. In any case, let me go ahead and push these upgrades. We need to get all this going. Bahrain is having a revolution. That should be down here. We're not going to attack anyone. We're not stirring the pot. Alright, well, whatever's having down by Qatar is going to happen. Looks like we're getting 8.5 billion a week from our international investments right now. That's not terrible. And the Chechen War deck, again, in a year, so let's check on our training. So we are going to get our Marines up and going before then. We will have to take out one unit. So we could lose our war, effectively. We might have to build more units. That's all it'll come down to, though. I think we are, yeah, we're short infantry fighting vehicles across the board. Self-propelled artillery for some of this. To be expected, honestly. Getting defensive systems here. These are needed. Another mechanized units come out. Oh, I didn't look. Okay, yeah, we're good. Unemployment's at 5%. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna cost only 50 political power to drop our taxes. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And just bump up our stability a little bit. We had another mechanized unit. So that's cool. All right, so we got here the Nero composites done. Non-explosive reactive armor. We've got a lot of land warfare research to do. All right, let's go ahead with improved electronic warfare. Something just clicked. Looks like an agent. Guy's got 2 flags or abilities, so let's check him out. Alright, we're gonna start working on Europe if we can. I want to see how active their agent detection is and everything. And if he gets captured, we're just gonna abandon him. No big loss. Alright, we're back to quite a bit. Yep, combat with reduction, we're definitely taking that for our artillery. And we're gonna max out the damage. Then here, this could boost our helicopters or our tanks. I'm thinking long term, we're going to be in jungles a lot. I'm actually going to say we're going to go attack helis on this playthrough, which I know is crazy for us. Even like considering we don't have any. Period. Yeah, we're gonna go IFV doctrine here, so let's go ahead and get into the infantry business. We'll just wait. We do have some Air Force. And we got our Marines. Our first Marines. We're gonna treat these as their own special forces. It's just like I do on every other playthrough. Marine Command. Marine Operational Command. MOCOM. And we are going to actually have commanders available, which is crazy. This is an air cav leader. Man, that would be nice to put on. Yeah, paratroopers too. That helicopter defense is a weird one though. This boosts artillery. Our Marines really aren't going to have a lot of artillery, so I'm going to actually go with this general that has no bonuses. For now. We're just going to utilize him. He's going to have a full-on naval invasion order all the way to the Maldives. 1 unit, mano a mano. Can he get the plan executed? We're gonna find out. This is huge for the Chechen Republic. Or actually, we're not even a republic, are we? What are we? We're like socialist, authoritarian. Yeah, we're autocrats. I mean, we do have elections. Not that they matter. Pointless elections where everything is controlled by the political power at B. Yeah, that sounds normal. Alright, let's look at this faction control, see what if there's any. Yeah, we could take this coastal region right here. Too. What is this? Oh, this is the Free Syrian Army. So they have split control over Syria. Look at all the light metals. Oh my god, we have to take it. I don't care about that. They can keep their oil. The light metals, man. Alright, so we did get bulk loaded propellants. We're gonna go pure in the self-propelled artillery systems. All in. No holds bar. That's where we're at. It's a very peaceful map right now. There's no conflict going on. Now there are wars. Guatemala is still at war somehow, and Surinese civil war is going on. Uh-oh. Housing bubble. See, I'm traumatized from our America playthrough about this. We'll cool it down. We'll go ahead and cool it all down. I have no political power. Dear God. That was horrible. Oh my God, that put us in a huge political power deficit. I did not see that. That was not cool. Not cool at all. Definitely want an extra 7% resource extraction. We cannot support the mechanized units we have, let alone start a war right now with them. And I don't have any tank battalions, do I? Of our own. Yeah, we'll worry about that in a bit. I'm thinking about it. We literally have none. Active protection systems. And we'll get those last two. We're definitely going to need non-explosive reactive armor. Alright, who can train? Everyone needs to be training. And at least until December. Then the Marines will stop training. Yeah, we're getting radars. I think Navy-wise, we do have one boat. Where are they based out of? Can I see? Okay, it shows them here. So we do have someone in the Caspian Sea. Nice. Caspian, right? We're gonna go ahead and patrol that. Maniacal laughter in my head right now at the fact that we have boats in the Caspian Sea. Even if they are showboats, we're not showboating. We're not. They're actually useful. Dagestan. Did I not move all those rail lines up? No, we did. They must have finished. So I guess we have. Yeah, we're kind of missing some supply lines here. If this is what I'm looking at, is updated. Let's see. Yeah, it's still being built. All the connectors are still being built. Right there too. Volgograd to Kalmykia. So that'd be like this section. Right here. So once these finish, we get our naval yards up and going as well. We'll be doing all right. We're over halfway towards our war deck, so the expansion begins, and we have to rapidly expand by 2040. Because Europe and America are just going to be huge. I don't know how I would increase war support with Chechnya, because it doesn't really have a lot of... Like, if I was here... just replaces military spending. That's popularity. This would actually be okay. But we would have to get this. Which boosts war support, actually. Ooh. That is useful. And then this would be... attacking division speed is nice. That would be huge. We own Georgia, so that's pointless. Caucasian Revolution decisions. Internal weapons bay. We need this. This is the last thing we need for our jets, other than the frames for 5th gen fighters. All right, let's check our intel that we have, as well as foreign investment in Sri Lanka. They are, well, we'll just invest in India. We're gonna check our intel. So they have 1 Marine regiment for sure. No planes, no boats. Very minimal infrastructure. The perfect naval base. That is perfection for us. And we need it. How are we looking economically? We're still... South Africa is jumping up. Look at this. still behind Canada. Algeria is catching up. So we are in the hunt, but we are kind of falling behind a little bit right now. We need to focus. We're still doing upgrades on our light fighters to that 4th gen frame. We do have some backup heavy lifts. That does mean we have no backups of our 4th gen frame of fighters. So that kind of is terrible. So any air wing losses are just losses. I want to say most of these are going to be upgraded now, I would think. The Astracon's air superiority version. Yeah, that one's still 50. That one's still got 19. So we have 131 of the 4th gen fighter. We'll have to modernize very quickly and abruptly. Let's look at our research here. Do we have... Yeah, so once we get this 5th gen light aircraft frame, I'm going to shift this back over into civilian research. We're going to reallocate our resources. Icaria. I'm not familiar with the history of this, if this is real or not. Independent Icaria. So that's a Western aligned government version. That's interesting. Scramjets are done. So we get turbo ramjets now available. And a bunch of rifles just finished up. Alright, so let's get airplane nuclear just out of the way. It's not going to do anything. Automatic rifles, so improved anti-air will help too. Kinetic operations suit finished. So that's a 10% breakthrough bonus. That's crazy. I guess we got our camouflage done, so we can research that. And then half a year, once we go to war, and we get our 5th gen light aircraft frame, we'll be able to hop over to some more civilian research. Oh, we're almost at 10 trillion in the next GDP anyway. Yeah, this is killing me. This massive negative from the housing crash that we tried to avoid. I guess this is probably less of a detriment than what would have happened. And it'd be nice to be an economic boom, though. Yeah, so these are 2 modern fighter wings. A little bit of experience, actually. The range on them is terrible, though. Like, we would barely be able... We can't even cover all of Kazakhstan territory. So we're going to go ahead and move that towards this next operation area. Yeah, so from here, we can actually cover everything we need to cover. That's good to know. Yeah, because we're going to want... We're definitely going to want to put forces right here. This is where all these air bases are. They have 4 air bases. And this northern group would be much better operating out of here and pushing air superiority over this region. And then once we take this, we're really not going to have a lot of power that we can project into the Urals. There's really not a lot there to work with. Oh, and we're out of time. It is October of 2035, though. Nice. All right. Well, I'll stop it here. Catch y'all in the next episode. Thanks for watching.